This presentation is intended to provide insight into how National Center for Chaplain Development, a ministry of CareForce U.S., intends to provide support to the first responder community and the communities which they serve. I have 2 questions for you. Who serves the first responders? Why should we provide support? National Center for Chaplain Development, a ministry of CareForce U.S., addresses the unique and specific challenges our first responders face on a daily basis. Why is there a need for this? As our first responders deal with the operational issues of serving all of us in our moments of crisis, they have to bury their personal feelings and emotions until our crisis is over, or they would not be able to help us. The issue becomes worse when they have to go call after call, remaining in operation mode, and never have an opportunity to deal with how they feel. They've trained to put on the physical body armor to protect themselves, but their training in most cases does not equip them to deal with the emotional, spiritual, and psychological damage that they face. They are not trained for emotional resilience. They end their days going home to their families, and since their families have no context, training, or resiliency to understand what they have experienced, they bottle things up. All of this can build up and eventually may lead to addictions, domestic violence, post-traumatic stress, and even suicide. In fact, since they are exposed more often and more frequently to traumatic incidents and witness things that most of us would never see, first responders tend to have a much higher incident of PTSD and suicide than the rest of the population. Frankly, their lives are breaking apart as a result. Aren't these warriors and heroes that serve the 307 million individuals that live and work in the United States deserving of our care and support? We believe so and intend to do something about it. By definition, a chaplain is a minister in the workplace providing a secular purpose. Our philosophy of chaplaincy is that a chaplain's ministry of purpose, presence, and peace is to provide sacred care. Chaplain ministry ought to be a force multiplier for an agency. Ministry of purpose goes beyond the traditional understanding of ministry of purpose. To be a force multiplier, a chaplain's actions must be deliberate in their support of the primary mission of their agency and provide proactive and responsive support to every member. Decisions ought to therefore be made on what ministry is appropriate while considering the unintended consequences and long-term effects of that ministry, even while addressing the immediate ministry needs. Ministry in any form ought not to interfere with the mission of or become a liability to the agency. Ministry of presence entails being fully present to the person who is directly in front of you. It is giving your undivided attention, eyes, ears, nonverbal, etc. to them. To serve someone is to be present with them, to pay attention to them, to not make judgments or comments about them or their situation, but rather to listen attentively and openly. Ministry of presence encompasses being open, honest, direct, and transparent with others in both verbal and nonverbal communication. Ministry of presence might sometimes imply a corollary ministry, the ministry of silence. The Jewish concept of shalom, peace, means that every aspect of an individual's life, physical, emotional, cognitive, behavioral, and spiritual, is in perfect harmony with God's desire for their life. A chaplain's ministry of peace is to empathetically walk with someone in their crisis, to holistically assist them in the restoration of peace in their life in a sacrificially loving way. When someone is in crisis, their peace has been shattered and they are thrown into a state of chaos. A chaplain's role is to assist them in restoring control of their life and finding a new normal. A chaplain's ministry of purpose, presence, and peace is to provide sacred care. A chaplain is therefore spiritual and not religious. A chaplain is available when needed. Chaplaincy is an inconvenient ministry. A chaplain is credible with those that they serve, respecting and understanding the culture and the environment that they've been invited into. A chaplain is relational, realizing that relationships take time to develop and to nurture. A chaplain is empathetic, coming alongside of others in their greatest time of need. A chaplain respects the diversity of beliefs within cultures and facilitates those needs. A chaplain's ministry of purpose, presence, and peace is to provide sacred care. A chaplain effectively connects with individuals quickly and unobtrusively. A chaplain has been trained to assess those needs professionally. A chaplain is able to respond to people's needs efficiently and effectively. A chaplain engages with others to supplement those needs. A chaplain's ministry of purpose, presence, and peace is to provide sacred care. Chaplains are first responders to the first responders and the communities they serve. Not only are they the most efficient way of serving them, but also the most effective. We have a wonderful opportunity to mobilize individuals to have an impact on these modern-day warriors and heroes. For more information, please come visit us at booth 408.